1 o'clock on Thursday, which means it is time for a video tutorial here on YouTube. And I am really sorry for that weird picture that was showing up. And let's see if I'm actually live. Yes, it looks like I am. That's very good. YouTube has been just being weird, and I do not even know how to explain it. Okay, so if there's weirdness, then I just apologize. I really thought it was going to come up in a completely wrong mode. All right, so it looks like it's saying I'm live. That's a very good thing. And so let's go ahead and get started. Here is our card today, and I've used the new Spring Blessings stamp set. This is a photopolymer set, and it's quite cute. Hey, Marva. Hi, Faith. Appreciate you guys coming. And it's very much a spring-oriented stamp set, and I think it's quite adorable. And this morning, or yesterday, through the Split Coast Stampers site, everything is all cockamamie. Did you notice that? Have you noticed that everything is cockamamie? I'm going to see if I can uncockamamie it. There we go. Oh, there it is. Now we're... Gosh. I'm sorry. I'll just apologize straight up for all of the weirdness that's going on right now, okay? I don't even know. I've got nothing. I can tell it's just a little bit. Sorry about the moving of the camera, but it's bugging me. And you know me, I don't want to be bugged. There we go. Let's see about that. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Barbara. Hi, Jean. Haven't seen you for a bit. Thank you for coming. All right. Yeah, it's kind of a flyover set. It doesn't have a die set or a punch associated with it. It's on page 19 in your mini catalog if you want to look. And there's a couple of very cute little samples with it. It's like I said, it's cute. And it's very much a spring set. It does not have any Easter sentiments in it. So it's happy birthday, thanks, and hello, and hoping this spring brings you many blessings. So I've used a few of the images and sentiments to make the corner tuck fun fold that I saw on Split Coast Stampers this week, because I thought it was really cute. Oh, hey, Cheryl, appreciate you coming. All right. Still watch it because you prefer the replay. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, everybody, for coming. So this is kind of fun. This little piece right here is an add-on that holds your card closed. Cool. And then you just open it up, and there is your sentiment and the inner liner. So really, it's a very, very simple fun fold. And what then becomes the thing is how you decorate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Everything will be on my blog tomorrow, so you can just watch and just enjoy and whatever. Okay? All right. Side. Okay. I have all of these little measurements written down. The first thing we're going to do, our card base is Balmy Blue, both pieces of it. Does the corner add-on come off to make a bookmark? It does not. It is permanente. Permanent. So there's two pieces. You've got your card base, which is 4 1/4 by 8, and we are going to score that on the long side at 2 1/2 inches. Hardest part here, not using the cutting blade. Okay, don't use the cutting blade. That's it. The other piece doesn't get cut at all. And we're just going to fold that over and give it a little boinish. Thanks, Faith. Appreciate you. And then this piece right here is the other piece of the fold. Now, the Split Coast Stampers tutorial did it as a landscape, but when I started making it, the images in the Spring Blessings, which I had decided I was going to play with no matter what, end of story, that was it. I had to play with it. They work better this way. So that's how it turned out, was to be a portrait instead of a landscape. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of adhering. I have some Country Gingham, Country Gingham, not Country Gingham Cottage, Country Gingham 6x6 DSP in Petal Pink. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Hey, Sharon, appreciate you guys coming. We are having like spring here. I've got windows and doors open. It's wonderful. Wonderful. I don't know if that cold front is going to come all the way through, because if it does, then that means we'll be back in covers and jackets and all that other stuff soon, very soon. All right, so this is the back, and we're going to go ahead and adhere it on the inside. So I don't guess I meant the back, it's the inside. It's really the inside. And I am matting it on crumb cake. So this palette is crumb cake, petal pink, balmy blue, and so saffron. All right, so that's all I'm going to do with that right now. So let's go ahead and decorate our, this piece, the front piece, if you would. All right, so I am going to start by stamping my little lady in crumb cake. And obviously you can do however. Hey, Diane, thank you so much. Hi, Janice, appreciate you guys coming. You can do however suits you to decorate this. This is one of those, let's say, scene maker stamp sets, right? And I'm just making a little scene here. Not making a scene, that's totally different. I'm making a little scene. And we are going to stamp a couple of these lanterns. Now, these are those lantern doohickeys that you, I mean, I don't, because that's just not how I roll. But you would, if you were that person, you light a little candle in there, and the heat makes them go up. And so you make a wish, and off they go. Into the wild blue yonder, flying high, into the sky. And I'm going to put 2 here like that. And then while I have it out on this piece of cardstock, I'm going to stamp it again. And while I have the cardstock out and the ink out, I'm going to stamp my little basket right here on that side. And I'm going to fussy cut these guys, so don't be scared. I'm going to fussy cut them. All right. Thanks, Marva. It's not, like I said, it isn't hard to overlook this at all. Let me go ahead and color these first. We're going to color the lanterns. Well, we're going to color everything. And I did not do anything ahead of time because I just didn't. And I'm sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to start coloring the lanterns with some light So Saffron ink with using my blends, my Stampin' blends. Now, if I was not working with a color challenge, the fun thing about color challenges is not only do they give you like a mojo bump, right? An idea or a starting place, but they also make you think outside the box a little bit, right? So if you weren't constrained, and I use that in, air quotes, if you weren't constrained by a color challenge, you might want to use a darker pink to add some, glowiness. Glowiness, that's a word. That's a word I just made up. Glowiness to these lanterns, right? But I am a little constrained, so I'm going to go ahead and use my dark petal pink, and I'm just putting a touch of pink color up there, just to add some, hey, this is supposed to have some fire in it. And then we'll go back to the light So Saffron and do some blending. So it's not like it's really pink, it's just pink, like that. Pink, sort of pink. We'll do the same here, like that. Okay, and let me also do the one I'm going to fussy cut. Hi, honeybee, appreciate you coming. So again, with the light So Saffron all over, trying to sort of keep it on, kind of sort of on the inside. And then we'll do dark So Saffron. And I'm kind of keeping the dark around the edges. That'll help me keep the center lighter and kind of make your eye think there's some roundness to that balloon, right? I just made that up. I don't know if that really is true or not. And while I've got my, not the pink one, Mary, don't do the pink one, silly girl. I'll color these little pieces right here. And I think I just put the dark on, yeah. Never do that. Well, you can, obviously you can. All right, so let's see. And I'm going to take my light crumb cake. Thanks, Faith. Let's see. I'm going to take the light crumb cake and color the basket. Tisket-a-tasket. This is not a green and yellow basket. This is a brown basket. And I'm not really too worried about what I'm doing with those leaves because they're going to end up being kind of colored. But I am cheating this. I'm just going to cheat just a little bit on the colors for the challenge and just put a little bit of Granny Apple Green in there. Just the tiniest bit. And mostly it's going to be covered, but you got to have some greenery somewhere. I mean, my gosh. All right, let's set those aside. And quick like a bunny, I'm going to color my little lady's dress. Actually, I'm going to color all of my little lady. So I'm using the light petal pink. I had to check because I might have messed it up. And I'm going to color her dress, petal pink. This is the weirdest thing that just happened in my brain. I was thinking, okay, now be careful about going outside the lines because, you know, you're going to cut this out. And then my brain was like, am I though? Am I going to cut this out? I don't think I am. And the answer is no, I'm not going to cut this out. This is, in fact, the card front. Almost screwed that up. I could easily see screwing that up. But that was very surreal. It was like all of a sudden I completely lost track of, you know, what in the world I was doing. Okay. And just doing a little more blending with the light one. And then I thought she probably would have, she looks like the kind of young lady who would have, good Lord, I've got all of the stamps out and I can't find any of them. Just a second. All right, let's see. That's little lady. This is lantern. Okay. When all else fails, look at every single block. Nope, that's grass. That's sentiment. That's bunny. That's birds. All right, hang on. It's on a block. I mean, I haven't technically lost it. You know, it's like, yeah, I haven't technically lost it yet, is what I want to say. But it's starting to look bad for the home team because I don't know why I can't see it. Okay, I'm looking all over now. There's a little 3 image. You know what I should do is just double check that I didn't put it back in the stamp set. I did not. Okay, so it's on a block somewhere. Oh, right in front of me. Gosh, I scare myself sometimes, people. My goodness, goodness and goodness. So this little image is the little flowers. It's this one right here. And I am stamping her dress. She looks like the kind of young lady who would wear a flowery dress. And so I'm just going to stamp those like that. And I'm going to go up here. Then I'm going to take a sticky note because I want to get the rest of her dress. And I'm just going to put that right there like that. And we'll do the same for her sleeve or sleeve. There we go. Okay. And let's see. Now I'm going to, yeah, it's getting to be scary what the things that happen as I get older. Okay, so now I'm going to take a couple of the new small blending brushes. These are really quite handy, y'all. I'm going to take some Balmy Blue, and I'm really going to be light with it. It's on the front, there is really only going to be the suggestion of sky, okay? So I'm really blending off and then just sort of adding in the color here. And I want to stay off of my lanterns, all right? I don't want my lanterns to get colored blue. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same on the bottom, but with crumb cake. Crumb cake. Aren't these fun, these little tiny ones? You get a lot of control with them, and I like that. Okay, again, this is not just like over the top color, but when you see it, possibly you can tell, right? Okay. So we'll close those up. Finish coloring the little lady because I can see in my future me forgetting to color all of her and be like, you know, something doesn't look right. Now I'm using the light So Saffron because she's a blondie. She's a blondie. Now, you know, that kind of hair, I love that hair. I would like to have that hair, but I don't want to take care of that hair. I don't want to wash that hair, dry that hair, curl that hair, do anything with that hair. So now I'm using the SU 800. This is a lighter one of the neutrals blends, and I am going to color her skin. She might have a little more tan than I'd planned, but you know, she's been outside all summer. She's obviously a flower child. You can tell because she's like, you know, carrying flowers and walking barefoot in the grass. See, in the South, she'd have chiggers right now. So, you know. Yes, it is whimsical. That is exactly the right word for this card, or this stamp set. It's very cute. And then I'm using the Balmy Blue Stampin' Right marker to color her headband. And let's see, we're going to put some birds on. Birds are good. Birds are fun. Birds are fun. It does help if you stamp them like flying and not crashing. Okay. And we can use that Balmy Blue. Where are you, Balmy Blue? Here we go. Balmy Blue to color the birds. These are the bluebirds of happiness. You can tell because they're blue. And you can also just tell by the way they're flying so joyfully that they are happy. Also, I think they could be seagulls. I'm not sure. And there are, in fact, no blue seagulls, but it's my little world. Okay? So, I'm making the blue seagulls. The seagulls are blue, people. All right. What I like about this little card is you can really do quite a bit with it and just decorate and decorate and decorate. The fun is in the decorations, right? So we're going to have a little bit of grass. Now, it is spring, so that grass is upside down, but we're going to turn it over and pretend like we meant to do that. You'll never know the difference. Nobody will know. Well, somebody might know, but we're going to pretend we don't know. Who knows? There's no reason that grass can't be a little bit upside down occasionally. If you've ever driven over grass, it can be upside down. Really easy. Really, really easy. All right. Now, I think we are ready to adhere this to its mat. And that is going to be the crumb cake mat. And then it's going to go to the second piece of Balmy Blue, which is like the front card panel. Okay. There we go. Actually, it was kind of fun being limited in the colors on this one because it kept everything really cohesive. And it made me think. I had to think about it, and that was a good thing. Hey, Debbie, thank you. All right, I had one more piece of DSP that just appeared because there is another panel on the larger card front that gets a DSP piece, and that is this one on the front right here. Now, what you want to do, if you're, you know, anything like I am, is you're going to want to put it together closed like this so that you can line up the edges of the mats. All right, just like that. And this is going to go, oh, I got glue. This is going to go on like this, but we're not going to do that quite yet, okay? So the way we make the corner fold, the corner tucky thing, is I have a 2" by 2" piece of DSP, and I chose the Balmy Blue version of the Country Gingham, and you just cut on the diagonal across to make a triangle. You can tell that this makes a triangle because you're looking at a triangle right now. Hey, Carol, appreciate you coming. All right, so now, one thing I will tell you. When I saw the sample, there was no additional matting, okay? So that makes this kind of a stiff card, which means you're gonna be doing some bending of this piece, and you're gonna probably be doing some stressing of your corner tucky thingy, triangle doohickey. So I would highly recommend you using tear and tape here, because this is gonna get a lot of work, okay? So we're going to put tear and tape on just the edges, not the diagonal, and right up against the edge of the card, the DSP. Okay, like that. Just be sure you don't go across the diagonal, or you're just going to have a corner there that doesn't really do anything. Can't really tuck into it at all. At all. Just throwing that out there. All right, and so then we will do the fun work of getting this picked up. The tear and tape is so good it doesn't even want to let go of its own cover. There we go. Carol, appreciate you coming. It could be a corner bookmark, except it really isn't going to come off. I'm just saying. Once I put this down, it's not coming off. But when you make a square and cut it into a triangle, you have another piece. So you could use that one, I would say. All right, so we're just going to line up the edges and the bottom. Right there. It's lining up with the card base, not the mats. Okay. There we go. Like that. And give it a good push. Like I said, it's going to get a workout. So this is going to go on like so. Okay. But before I do that, let's go ahead and get our sentiment. I have cut using like one of my favorite dies for labels and sentiments ever is the smallest. So y'all, just as a reminder, when I talk on my blog about the third from largest wider rectangle, you can see if you nest them, this little grouping right here, these four are kind of narrower than they are tall, and these are wider. They're not wider than they are tall, because then they'd be, never mind, they're wider. So this is the wider setting, and this is the narrower nesting set, okay? So for this, I've used the smallest of the narrows, and I flung it off like that, and I cut a piece of basic white. Yeah, it's, like I said, it's kind of, you just don't see it used a whole heck of a lot, but I think that's too bad because it's cute. I think it's quite cute. Okay, so we're going to stamp thank you in crumb cake right in the middle. Can she do it? I did cut a second one just in case the answer to that question was no, she can't. But it looks like in this case I did. Whew. Yay! And this is going to go on our little card front right there. Right there, actually. Now, you don't want this so that you have to do any particular manipulating when you stick it in. You don't want there to be any chance that this gets caught in the corner. So raise it up far enough that you know pretty good that that's not going to be a problem. Okay? So we're going to use some dimensionales. We're going to use some dimensionales. Hey, Connie, appreciate that. Diane, appreciate you joining from Canada. From Canada. I've heard that's what it's called these days, Canada. I mean, it kind of makes sense. If people from Canada are Canadians, you would think that their country would be Canada, and yet it isn't. All right, we'll pull these little cover doohickeys off. I know you've been anxiously waiting for me to fussy cut, and we're getting there, kids. We're almost there. All right, and we're just going to adhere that like that. Perfect. I'll take that for $1, Alex. So now let's fussy cut, because the next thing is to put those on. And I'm just going to do a quick fussy cut. I'm doing a die cut fussy cut, which means I'm leaving a white border. That's my words. I don't know if that's like a real thing. That does not reflect the official opinions of Stampin' Up. It's just what Mary calls it. This is a die cut fussy cut. A hard fussy cut would be where I didn't leave any white. This one, I wanted it to look like it had been cut out with a die. Dies would have been fun for this little set. Okay, so there's our basket. And then we're going to do our little lantern. Our little lantern. I would love to see these lanterns take off once, but I bet you they're not very environmentally friendly. You know, we get balloons all the time dead on the ground out in our pastures. Fortunately, the girls are way smarter than your average bear, and they don't try to eat them. But I could see goofy, you know, dogs trying to eat a balloon. So those Mylar balloons have kind of gone out of favor for me. I don't like them because they're ugly and you have to go pick them up. And they're really pretty floating, but they're not so pretty laying on the wet ground. Just throwing that out there, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this. And so I'm just going to tuck it into place and make sure it's lined up how I want it. And basically, I'm just going to put some liquid glue right here on the actual card base itself. Yeah, this would not be a fun thing for you guys in California, Faith. That is for darn sure. Okay, by putting it on the card base, I know exactly where it is, and I know it's not on the rest of the card front, because you really don't want any glue on the other part, or it will stick together, and you'll have a real cute card that you can't open, which isn't any good. And you're just going to set that in and squiggle it around. This is why I like to use the liquid glue, especially for fun folds, is you can move it around, make sure it tucks in good, and then give it a little rubba-dubba. And that is really bugging me right there. There we go. Okay. So there's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this little balloon right here with a couple of dimensionals. And I'm just going to put the dimensionals right on the card base itself. How many can I get there? Yeah, I can do 2 of them like that, right next to each other, and pick the covers off. Come on now. See, what's supposed to happen is I say pick the covers off, fling, and then they're gone. They're like gone, like that, and it didn't work like that at all. I should not put the basket up there. That would be so wrong. Okay, so we're going to put that little guy right there, like so. And I'm going to do the same with the basket, the little basket. But this one doesn't take half dimensionals. It takes quarter dimensionals, little quarter ones. All right. And so I just took my little half and cut it in half. Tell your kids, you're right, Linda. That is the best thing to do with them. They are very pretty. Gosh, you guys, do your grocery stores at Valentine's, do they like blow up 3004 Valentine's balloons, and they're like everywhere in the the floral section of the grocery store? You walk in and there's this giant balloon jungle. And what's so interesting is they've got 3004 of them blown up and ready, and there's still people wanting different ones blown up. It's like, really? There's 3,000 of them, 3,000 of them here, and you can't find one that would work. Huh, that's weird. You would think you could. Okay, so there's our little basket tucked on, and we're going to wait to do our daisies. We're going to put a little dollop of daisy on there. So let's go ahead and get our inside. What I've used here is the 4th from largest of the stitched rectangles, and I'm going to give myself some sky. And we can have a little more sky here than we had on the front. Why? Because I said so. No, I don't. Just because you can. Okay. And then a little bit of crumb cake. Thank you, Linda. Maybe they do want a fresh balloon. That's right. They don't want the... I could just see Katie playing with a balloon if it landed still live. And then we're going to put a little bit of crumb cake down here. Remember when you're blending to start your blend off of your card base, your cardstock that you're coloring, okay? Instead of starting right in the middle. It'll help you eliminate a lot of the smudges. People who do machine embroidery or use mylar. Oh, cool. That's cool. All right, so now let's go ahead and put some grass. And I think this time I'm just going to, well, no, let me do the sentiment first. I'm going to do the sentiment. He's going to be in crumb cake, crumb cake, crumb cake. And I'm using hoping this spring brings you many blessings. I'm going to go right here like that. And we're going to do some grass. I'm going to do it right side up. That's just me. I'm going to be crazy and do it all right side up. This may be one of my favorite grass images ever. It's just like perfect. It's more perfect when you do it right side up. Hang on a minute, guys. Sorry, had to have a little drink. Now, this little bunya is going to be watching some birds. Oh, is he not so cute? He is so stinking cute. Okay, birds, where did you go? Which way did you go? There they are. All right, we're going to do a couple of birds up near the top. Those guys are flying the wrong way. Oh, well. Okay, let's see. Let's get them right. Let's do I just can't. I just can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. Wait a minute. Let me cut another. Let me not cut another one because I couldn't. I just could not let that be. Okay. I'm going to cut it. Birds do not fly upside down unless they're in distress, and that is not a fun springy card, okay? I'm just saying. So you just got to watch me do it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I knew I should have cut a second. You know what was weird is when I was getting this ready, I was like, you know, you cut a second sentiment. You probably want to cut a second inside. And I was like, no. No. Don't need to do that. This is really easy. How hard could it be? Pride goeth, right? Pride goeth before having to cut another piece on camera. Okay, so once again, as if we'd never started, a little crumb cake on what will be the bottom, and some balmy blue on the sky, up at the top. And you know the cool thing about sky is if you do get a little extra somewhere, it really just kind of looks like cloudy, hazy sky. And so it's all good. It's all good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stamp those birds again. But I think I'm going to stamp them on my... Yep, those look like they're flying the right way. That's a good thing. My brain was looking at that going, that just doesn't seem right, Mary. You just really don't want to use those because that's not right. Okay, and some grass, still right side up. Let's see if I can bat 1,000 on this one. Okay, and then Mr. Bunya. Oh, Bunya, here he is. Okay, and I'm going to color his little inner ear. No, there were not enough embellishments in the world to fix that. I'm going to use the darker petal pink and then my light crumb cake to color him. So I just really gave a little bit of color to the ear right there. And then we're just going to color him like that. This is a brown bunny. Not a white Easter bunny. It's a brown bunny. You know, most bunnies are brown. No, I made that up. I think they're actually gray. But in this case, this is a crumb cake bunny. So, you know, he's kind of your basic bunny. He's very cute though. He may be a basic bunny, but he's a very, very cute basic bunny. Okay. And, oh, we should have a sentiment. Okay, everybody hold your breath. Okay, right side up. Pretty straight. Whew, okay. All right. Yeah. And that's a good one to do because the birds are kind of, it's a little hard. Like this one right here always kind of confuses me, but he's flying up and his wings are on the downstroke. That's why he looks like that. But every time my brain looks at it, it's like, what? What now? Okay, so to get this lined up, what you're going to want, you're going to open your card up. And you want him to be, he's going to tuck in a little bit in the corner. And you want it so that when you close the card, you can't see it. Okay, and that appears to be a good spot right there. A good spot right there. Yes, he's a chocolate bunny. My favorite kind of bunny, let's be real. I'm going to put some liquid glue here. And then just set this in on top. And you know, if you use a little extra liquid glue, that gives you a little more squiggly time, which can be both good and bad all at the same time. Okay, and so there is the card put together. Now, this next part is a little persnickety, and I apologize in advance, but it's necessary. Okay, it's necessary because this little lady right here needs these flowers. Just saying. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use some little dots of liquid glue. I'm going to put 3 little dots of liquid glue. I'm going to put 3 little dots of liquid glue on the basket. And then using my, there it is, the putty tip on my Take Your Pick tool. I'm just going to pick up some of the smaller flowers in the loose daisies. So the loose daisies have larger flowers and smaller flowers. And so in the basket, I'm going with the smaller flowers. I think that's a small flower. That's definitely a small flower. And I'm just going to touch it to the glue and pick it up. I'm going to put a couple of whites. See, she's been out gathering up flowers, and while she was out, she thought she would release a wish. That's how that worked. All right, we'll put a couple more glue dots. Not glue dots, dots of glue. And then she is tiptoeing through the daisies. Doesn't she look like she would tiptoe through daisies? I mean, I'm just saying she really does. Don't tell me she doesn't, because she does. She do. And I'm mixing it up, some whites, some yellows, some bigs, some smalls. Okay, they're just kind of strewn, you know, strewn. When you strewn, you just fling. Have you ever done that with daffodil bulbs where you just like fling a whole handful out and wherever they land in your grass, you plant them? That sounds like such a cool way to do things unless your ground is really, really hard. And then you're like, yeah, this isn't a good spot right here. I'm going to move it over to right there. All right. Let's see. Let's put a white one here. And then I think we want another couple. You don't want to get any on this part that's going to go under the, you know, under the corner. Okay. So don't put any under there. That would be bad. And then I'm going to put one right here on the sentiment itself. Now, these little daisy guys were really kind of meant for shaker cards, but they're so stinking cute, strewn in the grass and on her basket. Oh my gosh. And then there we are on the inside. So let me quick make an envelope for you and we'll be done. What's my time looking like? Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll hurry. I'll go fast. Okay, so for the envelope, okay, and I'm just going to put, this is to keep the post office happy. I don't know if they really hate it when these are decorated. I don't really care. But surely they'll smile when they see this all decorated. I don't care if they're happy or not, as long as they don't send it back. Okay, some grass. And, oh, let's see. Let's put a little blue in there. Oh, Patricia, I'm so sorry you had hip surgery. I hope you are recovering nicely. That's tough. But I am flattered that this is how you are spending part of your recovery time. That's very kind of you. Okay, one more time. Let's risk these birds. I think we'll stamp them. Yep, that's right. And we're just going to do some birds right there. Just 3 birds. And the bunya. The bunya has to be on here because that's what makes you smile is the bunya. All right, and a quick color. Oh, thank you, Jean. You are very sweet, dear. I appreciate that. And we got some more seagulls of happiness here. Oh no, you know what? Maybe they're those rare blue swallows. That's probably what it is. They're those rare blue swallows. Now, remember, when you color on an envelope with Stampin' blends, don't push real hard. If you've got a real heavy hand with your blends, you're likely to get bleed through. So if you know that that's you, if you're a heavy-handed blender, which I kind of am if I'm not really thinking about it, you want to put something inside your envelope, like a piece of plastic, or you know what works really good is those window sheets that come with the photopolymer stamps now. So once you've mounted your photopolymer on the case, you'll have an extra piece of that window sheet left over, and you can use it. Just keep a piece kind of sitting aside, and then if you need to protect the back of your envelope, you can do that with that piece. Okay, and then I've got a little piece. This is not the same plaid, but it is the same color. And we're going to put it on the envelope flap. All right. You know, it's funny. I told you it was really warm here today, and I had all the windows and doors open, and I'm sitting here in my heavier, one of my heavier jackets, my Stampin' Up! Jacket. We got this jacket on our trip to Alaska way back in, I don't even know what year that was, 2017 maybe? I don't know. But it's that time of year when it's colder in the house than it is outside. I don't know quite how that happens, but it is. So I was chilly. And it's also that time of day when I get cold. I don't even know why. So there we go, you guys. Spring Blessings made into a corner tuck fun fold. And I just think it's really cute. Like I said, it's a flyover set, a little bit of a flyover set, but it's really cute for the springtime. And I think you might want to have it in your kit bag. So I appreciate you guys spending an entire 45 minutes with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. I will see y'all on Saturday. Thanks. Ta.